game, son. This joint right here, Tyson's punch out.
Yeah, you damn right, get it right. Lay him out like I am Mike. Brooklyn representing, and you know that's right. Bitch, y'all niggas getting punched out. Find tracks at the boy, you getting punched out. Put your hands in the air, you getting punched out. Everybody, everywhere, you getting punched out. What you say? You keep it thorough, your ass will get knocked out. Your name is trouble, your ass will get knocked out. You keep it gully, right? Your ass will get knocked out. Got your boys up in the side, your ass will get knocked out.
Welcome back, Dungeon Nation, to the 15th episode of The Dungeon with your boy, Amillieo. I am Amillieo, of course, in the flesh, and today I'm here with a special guest. My man Walter from the first floor has come to the dungeon to bless y'all with his knowledge of role-playing games, which is short for RPGs. Would you call it JRPGs? What do you call it?
Japanese RPGs, but I just call them RPGs, altogether.
Yeah.
Why the hell not?
Walt has in the building. My man.
Brother.
What's going on?
Life and all its cruelty.
Let me tell you about Walter. I know Walter before I got into my whole street years or whatever like that. This is a fellow geek of mine. So I used to always go to his house and play the game, the Super Nintendo. And because of this man, I love role-playing games. Because I never played role-playing games. I ain't had no Super Nintendo, but I had to watch him play them for hours with Sinclair. So now I love them. So today we're going to have a crazy episode about role-playing games, starring my man Walt. Walt's a professional and role-playing games, so we're gonna bless y'all with some classic Super Nintendo role-playing games. Now there are some good ones on the Genesis, but we're gonna talk about the Super Nintendo ones that he picked out himself to say, you know what, these are my main ones to go to, which is a lot of people's favorite role-playing games. But before we go into that, today he's gonna take a shot of Fireball with me, his request as well. I never drunk this before, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to get up with this, but that's another story. But before we even take a shot, I want to share with y'all my nostalgia toy for today, which is the Transformer Takari watch. Do you remember this watch?
Oh, goddamn. Yeah, I remember those.
I
must have lost like 5 of those.
5 of them? 1984-85, Takari came out with these watches, and these watches was like awesome. They come off the little strap here, and they transform. And it was awesome. It was the best thing ever. And I don't want to transform it now, but you can see up on the screen by Nickelbaum. He's going to show you guys that this was the. They had some fake ones, but as you see on my wrist, I got the real ones right here and on my wrist. These was amazing. How many of these you said you had?
I had about like 5 of them.
5?
And I lost every single one. I'm pretty sure I had the bootleg ones though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Those things were they would break very easily.
Yes.
If you weren't careful, like gingerly treating these, when you put them on and take them off, they would break easily.
Yeah. Well,
especially if you're a big beefy bastard like me.
Yes. And my man's a military man as well. And thank you for serving our country, my man. I appreciate you.
Thank you. I know it doesn't look it.
Yes.
I'm out of rags at the moment. But usually I take care of that once a month.
But before he was gunning and running, he was playing video games and doing a whole bunch of RPG loving, man. So right now we're gonna take a shot. I got a glass for you.
Bang bang. You're drunk. All
yeah,
right.
Yeah. How you open up Fireball? What the what does it taste like?
Mostly cinnamon.
Yeah.
It's whiskey. It's whiskey. It's cinnamon whiskey. You'll feel it burn on the way down.
All right, man. Well, we're gonna take a shot of this. Have you been watching the channel?
Yes, I have.
Have you been liking the content?
Well, so far, yeah. Especially that one episode with your uncle.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny.
We're not going to go into that, man. But listen, man. Cheers. We're going.
Zoom.
Nope.
Salud.
All right. Later, man. Let's go.
Oh. Told you. Taste that cinnamon.
All right. So we're going into the Super Nintendo. The Super Nintendo came out. Well, the Famicom came out in 1990 in Japan. Japan always get their before us.
Oh yeah.
We get it in 91. This is the first model of the Super Nintendo. Do you remember this model right here?
I had that very same model.
Yes, we did. We played the out of this too, right?
I remember modifying it. We used to cut out those 2 little plastic pegs that was inside the slot, because when we were growing up, we used to go to bargain bins and everywhere, and we used to get the Japanese games. And we used to play it on these modded Super Nintendos, which wasn't very difficult to mod, even though you had to be very careful when removing those pegs. You didn't want to jack up the system.
Yes.
I remember playing the Batman Forever, which is a great, side-scroller beat 'em up.
Yes.
But they didn't have the American one, so I had to get the Japanese one. And
It was like a Final Fight. It was
exactly. It was a Final Fight clone.
Yeah, you used to take them and throw their asses. We talked about it on the channel before. Yeah, man, it was a good one.
It was a good game though.
But you remember this model?
Yes, I do.
Now, do you remember this model?
That's the Super Famicom. Now, I never had an actual Super Famicom. I've seen it though.
It's not the same. This is not a Super Famicom. This is the second model.
This is the second model.
Yes.
I never seen the second model.
Yes. Do you know when it came out?
No.
Kill.
See, he got me beat on that little bit of knowledge. See,
1997. This one came out.
See, I entered the military in 1995. So by the time this came out, I was already stationed in Japan.
Mind you, I used to always go to his house and play this games because I didn't have a Nintendo growing up. I had to play his. So I used to go to his house all the time, and and I haven't seen Walter for like what, 2 decades?
Christ, we known each other for at least a little over 30 years.
You're blowing my age up on the channel, but
my bad. What? The gray hair wasn't doing that.
Yeah, listen, man, 20 years. But yeah, this model came out in '97. I actually like this model. This model was a little bit better,
sturdier, more.
Yeah,
Let me see that.
It's pretty. Well, it's pretty. I liked it better because it got the component. The back, you put like the components on it. It comes with the different components. Yes.
Oh no, that's the HDMI.
Yes, not HDMI.
No, this is the predecessor before that.
Yes, but this is a good model right here. As you see, my favorite role-playing game, Final Fantasy 2, is in here with the Dark Knight Sisu. Yeah, it is for this is. Yeah,
okay,
this is
a little backstory. There was a labeling issue when it came stateside. Mind you, when we received the pleasure of playing Final Fantasy 2, we were actually playing a dumbed-down version of Final Fantasy 4. See, the Japanese didn't have a high opinion of the Americans when they were releasing their games and translations and all. So we were actually playing an easier version of Final Fantasy 4.
Yes.
Which was ridiculous.
Yes. So yeah, we did a thing on Final Fantasy, but I think I was talking to Crystal and we did. And how you like my review of the Final Fantasy review? I left out a lot of didn't I?
Yes, you did. Look, like me, I'm a big-time Final Fantasy nut.
Yeah.
I played every single one of them, except for I think it was 15, the one when they're in the car.
Yeah.
Because it
Grand Theft Auto one. The Grand Theft Auto one.
Yeah. Look, I'm older. I work a job, and I need my damn sleep.
Yeah.
So yeah, as much as I would love to get into that Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah.
Games these days, huge investment in terms of time. So
how long would it take for you to finish a role-playing game back in the days? You remember? How many hours?
Oh God. Look, when you had no commitment other than school.
Yeah.
I'd just breeze through it. Maybe about between 30, 35 hours.
35 hours?
Well, that's including the grind.
Oh, okay.
See, sometimes you had
not the new ones. I'm talking about the Super. Yeah, I'm talking
those
straight through.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Okay. Including the grind between 30, 35 hours.
All right.
So sometimes you have to go into the harder areas and risk it. High risk, high reward. So you go for the targets that give them more XP, but
But without the
chance
grind,
of you getting one shot.
If you one shot there, how long do you think it'll take? One shot there.
I mean, come on, you got to grind.
All right.
Grind is life.
All right. Especially in role-playing RPG life.
Yes.
So real quick, we're going to go over these games right here. Like, these are the creme la creme of the games that you must have if you have a Super Nintendo and you want to collect RPG games or JRPG. Shout out to my man Diddy Von Cube. Anyway, the first game we're going to talk about is Shadowrun.
From Data East.
You remember this game?
Goddamn, do I remember that game.
I remember him playing this game like a mother.
Yes.
This game, he played this so much, holy shit. It was times that we didn't even eat nothing and we were playing this game all day. This game came out in 1993. And I tell you, tell them about the game. Tell the channel about this game. How was the game? What was the whole concept of the game?
Oh, the whole concept of the game? Okay. Well, basically, the Shadowrun series started as a pen and paper game. I forget the name of the company. And for some strange reason, they decided to go and make it into a video game. There was also a Genesis version,
but we're nothing
like this one though.
Yes,
it's actually way different. But this one, I bought it on a whim. It looked cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about the Shadowrun universe beforehand.
Yeah.
I played it. I loved it. The whole cyberpunk motif about it. It's awesome.
Remember, he was in a morgue, and then at the beginning,
at the very beginning, you wake up on a slab.
Yes.
As was it Jake Armitage? That was the name of the main character. He's also one of the main protagonists in the Shadowrun universe.
Yes.
And it's crazy because he wakes up amnesiac. He going around trying to piece in how the hell you ended up in a slab. and then it just opens up, you know, bigger narrative. There's
Yes.
a lot of secret, shady stuff going on in the background. It's great. It just draws you in. I mean, they had, you know, futuristic music in it.
It
Interesting
reminds me of
characters.
Snatcher, but it's a Nintendo, like an older thing of Snatcher, like the punk futuristic stuff like that.
Yeah, but not without the graphics of Snatcher.
Yes,
Come on,
yes,
that's a cartoon.
Of course.
Yeah.
But it's remind me of that, the cyberpunk and all that.
Yeah, I don't know. Have you ever played the Cyberpunk 2077 with Keanu Reeves in it?
No, and I'm glad I didn't. This
It's
game right here.
mixed reviews.
But
We're talking about this.
This game, one of your favorites, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. If you want to play this game, listen, get this game. It's very fun.
If
It's
you can
cool.
find it.
It's different. It's hard to get, but like I said, if you will get it, you will pay out the ass out this. But it's very good game to put in your collection.
Look it up on an emulator. I mean, I'm not advocating for, you know, illegal actions. We don't do that here.
Yeah.
But if you can find it,
Yes.
it's well worth the playthrough.
Yes, absolutely. Another game also came out in 1993. Secret of Mana. By who?
Square Enix.
Square Enix.
Well, Squaresoft back then, before they consumed the Enix, the video game company like Unicron or Galactus.
Yes.
Back when they did such things.
Secret of Mana. Now, to me, I think this is like a Zelda clone.
Well, kind of, sort of. It's more action RPG than full-blown RPG.
Yes.
The most interesting fact was you had 3 different characters that you could bring, you know, your friends to play in.
Yes.
Just switch in between the sprite, the main character, or the girl.
Yes.
I forget their names though, but it was very fun.
Yes.
You had different elementals that you could summon in battle, you know, skill up, weapons that you could go and level up. Well, granted, it was a pain in the ass to go and find the material to level these weapons up, but great fun. You switch out between weapons, and everything. It's a
Now,
great involvement.
explain the difference between the action RPG and the other RPG we was talking about, like with the one we about to go talk about. It's different kinds.
Well, action RPGs are mostly more involved.
Yes.
Like, you're in, like it said, you're into action pretty much.
Yes.
And you're more involved in the gameplay. It's more hands-on. Whereas, you know,
Like
full
Final Fantasy
RPGs
II,
like Final Fantasy,
Yeah.
they have a wait and see system pretty
Yes.
much. You take turns attacking each other, like you would in a pen and paper Dungeons and Dragons game.
Yes.
You take turns in it. Not so much in action RPGs. You got to constantly move, attack, evade. You know,
You used to play the pen and paper Dungeon Dragon games?
I did.
Holy you old. All right, yeah, this one right man, this game right
He's
here.
a year younger than me.
This game right here, man. Secret of Mana is a good game. You could get this one. It's not that hard to get, but you could get this game, get it to put in your Super Nintendo collection.
And if you happen to have a PlayStation Network account, you can find that game, play it. You know, play it with your kids. It's bright, it's colorful. They'll be drawn in, and it's a great bit of fun.
Now, for this next one, we gotta take a shot because get your glass real quick because this is a game that is very hard to get and it costs out the ass to really get it now. Really good game. Cheers, my brother. Salute. You always gotta cheers. And Cruz say, look him in the eyes like this. See this? There you go. Look. There you go. That's for Crystal. All right.
Yeah, get your story Final Fantasy X better.
Wow. Shots fired. Anyway.
And I love that game. Come on,
anyway,
man.
this game right here. Let the people know what game is this right here.
Oh, yo, the legend. Chrono Trigger.
Chrono Trigger. That's
God
right.
damn.
Chrono Trigger.
Groundbreaking game.
Groundbreaking?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say groundbreaking.
Yo, you have multiple endings in this game, bro.
Okay.
Come on, man. It had a great involving storyline, involving time travel of all things. The whole idea of a multiverse, you know, different timelines, different outcomes. You can't get much better in terms of a sci-fi storyline than you can find in Chrono Trigger.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember which ending? Did you end it multiple endings?
I did. I got multiple endings in that game.
So that means you wasted a lot of your life playing this game.
I did. Good God. It was a very, very good game.
Yeah.
Especially at the time. I mean,
Do you remember the characters?
yeah, Chrono, Marl, Luca. You know, the nerdy girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, Frog, Glenn, if you're, you know.
What was the best part of this game that you said it was like a game changer? Do you remember what year this came out?
I don't remember. It had to be like 93, 94.
95.
95?
95. This came out in 95.
Yo, look, well, you know, that probably explains it because I entered the military in October of 95.
Okay.
And this was probably one of the last games I played.
Before they
I went
brainwash you.
Yeah, before the brainwash.
Yes.
Tabula rasa, scorched earth.
Oh, okay. Listen, man, this game right here, very hard to get. If you was to get it loose is probably like $300-400 or $500, whatever like that. Complete in box, we talking about $900, $1,000. Ridiculous. The retro market for the video game market is ridiculous. Good thing that I jumped on board early and got, stuff. I got connections to the stand third, so I could get stuff for a better price. So I have stuff. So, but if you want to get it now, you need to put this in your collection with RPG games or Japanese RPG games, because this right here is a game changer, like he said. This is a good game, Chrono Trigger. So, another game. Talking about this game right here.
Secret of Evermore. This is another game that involved time travel, just not to the capacity of, Chrono Trigger.
Yes.
Now, this is a two-player game. One, you play the human character, or you play the dog. Interesting mechanic was, whenever you enter a new area, your dog companion would change the form reflective of the area. You go to the future, it's a robotic dog. You go to the past, it's a wolf. It's interesting, fun. I mean, I remember there was a pivotal scene in the game where you run into an NPC, non-playable character, who breaks the fourth wall, pretty much saying that we aren't real. We're characters in a story.
In the story,
it was in the game. It was actually in the game.
That was something like how Earthbound would do that as well.
I never played Earthbound. Much to my chagrin, I kick myself constantly for that. Earthbound, yeah, I know, bro, I know.
And you're an RPG guy, wizard.
You shut up. Look, I missed out on a lot of games growing up. I
gotta start screening my guests when they come here. For him to be the RPG, see, Jimbo got me the last one. I gotta screen my guests.
Okay, quick question: when did Earthbound come out?
90. Damn, I say 96 or 7.
Okay, where was I then?
Military.
Yeah.
Yes.
Shut up.
Okay, got you. But still.
Around. But
you can play it now. They got them on emulators. They got them on the mini, the Super Nintendo Mini.
I'm aware, but like I said on the trip over here, you gotta be careful when you're downloading emulators, because you may end up, downloading the
virus.
Any virus.
Yes.
And you know the way money is these days. You gotta be careful not to download something you're gonna regret later.
Yes.
Much like bar life. You don't want to end up downloading something you're gonna regret later.
Yes. That's why I stay away from the X videos and all that stuff. Anyway, another story.
Shout out to X videos. X hamster too.
Listen, man. Another game, like I said, a real good game. This game right here, like I said, he says a two-player game, time travel. They break the dirt. They break the fourth wall. Excuse me.
Yeah, like
real
Deadpool.
Good game. Real good, like Deadpool.
Or She-Hulk back in the day during the John Byrne run. Anyway,
yes, yes. We're hitting you with some real classics right there, man. Now, tell them about this game that's behind us that we have here.
Breath of Fire 2. Now, we never got Breath of Fire 1 in the U.S. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Probably, it's hard to translate, but we'll get past that.
Okay.
Breath of Fire 2, once again, the very big JRPG that managed to get over here in the U.S.
Yes.
They had multiple different characters, each with their own little skill set. Excuse me. This was actually a collaboration.
Different, y'all. The fireball hitting different. But go ahead.
This game was actually collaboration between SquareSoft and Capcom. And depending on the actions you do in this game, you might see Chun-Li in the game.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember that particular scene.
No, I do not.
Okay, now you're in a town. I forget the name of the town, and you go peep through a window in a house, and you see Chun-Li doing her lightning kicks. Pretty much just doing that. I mean, it was just
Capcom. It's Capcom.
Yeah, it was a collaboration between those two companies.
Yeah, absolutely.
This was a great game on its own, though. Right now, it's up to I think number 5 in its number, either number 5 or number 6 in the series. The last one I played was Dragon Quarter. I did not like it. That was out on PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3.
Yeah.
But yeah, the mechanics in that game was just awful.
Yeah.
So, this is still a good series. If you manage to find this game, hold on to it. It's a treasure.
Yes.
It's a very big game.
And it's very hard to get. If they have it in a retro store, if you see this in the store,
She
grab
has
it
no
and get
pants,
it.
mind you. This is
on-
mind-blowing to me when I was a kid.
This is on an emulator I'm playing on because I don't have this game. It's very hard to get this game. I cannot get this game. If you find it out there in the wild or you see it for a reasonable price, pick it up because it is a good game. This is a must-have in your collection. Worth Earthbound, but I'm not going to go in there with you. But anyway,
Hey, I'll get to that
now,
game when I get to that
all right,
game.
we're going to do one last game we have here. Another one. We're going to do one more shot. This ain't bad. What is it?
It's an acquired taste.
Yeah, it is. And I'm an acquirable type of person. So, if that's a word. All right, so one more.
Salud.
My brother. Holy.
We got 30 years of catching up to do.
Yes, 30 years.
And a few hours to do it in.
Yes, I just go to this guy his house all the time to play Super Nintendo. Crazy. I remember I got my first Sega Saturn and I brought it to his house and he hooked it up for me and whatever like that. But that's another story. Anyway, last RPG game I want to talk about is...
I don't know. We have one more to talk about, but you don't seem to have a copy of it.
Which one is that?
Final Fantasy VI.
Oh, yeah. We could talk about that.
Yeah, we'll get to that after this next one.
Yes. Mario RPG.
Another classic.
Another classic.
This is a collaboration between Nintendo and, again, Squaresoft at the time.
Right. That's right.
Now, the thing that's great about this game is, you play these nostalgic characters, Mario, Luigi, Princess Peach, and you combine them with new characters like the animated puppet Gino, the little cloud character that thought it was a tadpole.
Yeah.
You even get to play with King Koopa himself, Bowser.
Yes.
Against an even bigger threat because his army did him hard. They pretty much screwed him over when the bigger baddie came around. The bigger baddie being the cosmic entity known as Smithy. I don't know why it is the game such a crap name, but he was pretty much a cosmic blacksmith that was.
Whenever you have two companies come together, it's always somebody got to come up with something, and they want to outshine a person. And sometimes we get garbage. We get some. So that's what happens when you had Nintendo with Squaresoft, came together, and somebody probably came up with stupid ass names, whatever like that. But this game right here, RPG Mario, is a good game. It's one of those waiting games, like you gotta wait for your turn games. It's not an action game. You just wait. You push your attack, and then you let your opponent attack. It's very good. Very good game.
Very, very eye-catching graphics at the time. This has probably pushed the system to its limits.
Yes, it did.
You can put this in front of your kid right now, and they will enjoy the game.
Well, this came out in '96, so this new body came out in '97. It got discontinued in 2003, so it had a 6-year run.
Shows
after
the longevity of this system. It was a great system.
Great system. Awesome. Got
Much
to do a lot
better
of
than
stuff.
anything that Sega put out.
Yes. This right here is a classic game. Now, like Walt said, I don't have Final Fantasy VI.
Yeah, it's very hard to find a hard copy of that game now.
Hard copy. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, anyway, Final Fantasy VI was groundbreaking. If you were to look at any checklist of the best RPGs of all time, Final Fantasy VI would come out a solid 9 or a 10. That's how great this game was. Sadly, we don't have the actual copy, like Emilio said.
Yes.
Which is unfortunate, but if you ever find it via emulator,
so it's like, will you say that's the best RPG, the best Final Fantasy game?
No. I never said that. I mean, some people swear by number 9, some people swear by number 10.
What do you swear? What do you say about? What?
I'd say number 6.
6.
Yes.
So this one is the best, you're saying?
Yeah. No. And my list.
Yes.
With this rush to make remakes and anything, I feel number 6 would be a good contender.
Yes.
For a remake.
Okay.
Probably not in the vein the way they did number 7 recently.
Yes.
But on its own, like if they were to use the same system and create the game altogether with new graphics, keep the dialogue the same. But the characters. Yeah, the characters are are amazing.
Are they memorable? I never played 6. Yes.
You never played.
You
were writing my ass over not playing Earthbound.
I'm not an RPG wizard. You are. You got me into this RPG. But watch you play for all those years. And I couldn't have the game. And I was like 13 years old.
Okay, one of the reasons why it is, that number 6 holds a good place in my heart was the soundtrack by Nobuo Uematsu.
Okay.
Who's who's a master
genius.
Composer.
Yes.
God damn. I mean, he's great.
Yes.
The variants in characters, the storyline, they each had, every single character in this game had their own distinct storyline. But you don't...
What was the main storyline in this one?
Oh, pretty much, they existed in this world where magic ceased to exist. Nobody knows what happened. Nobody knows where the magic went. But, there's legends that there was a war about 1,000 years ago called the War of the Magi. And during this war, magic just ceased to exist. Now, present day in the game, one empire, they pretty much got worldwide dominance because they have the edge in terms of technology, which they called Magitech. What they did was they combined science with magic. Now, the way the game starts in a rather epic fashion, and it's like you're watching a movie, is you play one of the first characters you come across, you end up getting acquainted with, which is named Terra, who happens to have ties to magic. She could use magic, which was pretty much unknown and unheard of at that time. Well, as the story progresses, you'll find out that this empire was harvesting magic from these ancient beings called espers. And where this game really stood out to me was the introduction of probably one of the greatest villains in all the video games.
Which is?
Kefka. Now, you might have played video games before where the bad guy tries to take over the world or destroy the world. Homeboy did it. This guy was a psycho clown. Literally. He was dressed up like a clown from, some cinema from Italy and stuff.
I have to get this game. This game sounds crazy. It sounds bad crazy.
One of the best villains. I don't care. You'll have people soaring up and down that Sephiroth is, the best Final Fantasy villain. Nah. Kefka has him beat.
Yeah.
Where, like I said, where all the other villains, they talk a big game. This guy went ahead and did it. He subjugated 3 goddesses and ended up literally unmaking the world.
Yes.
Pretty much put the world in such a system that life everywhere was just dying. Because it was great. It was chaotic. You had to... Well, let me backtrack a bit.
Was he like the backtrack? Holy shit, we only got 20 minutes of the show. Okay. So he's like the Thanos of villains.
Yeah, and the thing is, you don't see it coming because he was actually a henchman for a good chunk of the game until he does the unthinkable and turns against his boss, who was the king with the empire that had all the Magitech in it.
Yeah.
Ambition will bite you in the ass eventually.
Yeah. So really, the magic, they found the magic in the game and then wound up.
Unmaking everything.
Unmaking all this like that. So
you seek power and it'll bite you in the ass.
Yeah. Also, real quick, what about the joystick of the Super Nintendo? What do you feel about them? Do you feel like
I loved it. I loved the design.
Out of the best joysticks ever made, out of game systems, what do you rank this as?
That would be a solid 2.
What's number 1 to you in your heart?
Probably a PlayStation joystick.
He's a PlayStation fanboy at that. Xbox is the best joystick ever made.
Hey, look, I ain't hating on Xbox. I got an Xbox myself, but I found the original joysticks a bit too clunky, and I got big hands, and I found them to be pretty clunky. And, But this right here, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I grew up. I grew up on this.
Yes.
And back then, when you started getting Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat coming out on the home consoles, you wanted this controller rather than that crappy ass, Sega Genesis controller.
Yes, that was big and dookie and only had 3 buttons. They had to later on come out with a 6-button one, and then it was.
And that costed money.
Yes,
if you didn't have money.
Yes.
The lubricant
the Super
of life.
Nintendo when it was out was $200, and it's funny because we was talking about Neo Geo system and how the games of Neo Geo cost $200. You could buy a whole Super Nintendo for $200, but that's another story. We're going to talk about Neo Geo later on down in the channel, man. But yeah. So yeah, man. So that's the RPG episode of this of the show. I want to thank my man Walt coming on from the first floor. We all call him Walt from the first floor. That's the funniest thing about it or whatever like that. So let the fans know, what are you playing right now? What games you playing now? What RPG games you playing right now?
Well, right now I'm playing mostly MMOs. I'm currently playing in Neverwinter.
Okay.
Play a Warlock in Neverwinter.
Free game, yes.
Yeah, it's a free-to-play game, but...
Yes. But you have to buy because if you don't buy, like it costs you to buy because you want to level up certain.
Oh, let me state something about the nature of free-to-play games. The way the free-to-game games go, it's a rather abusive system.
Yes.
Is sure you can play for free.
Yes.
Don't expect to get far into end game. You know, along with your friends. If your friends spend money and you're not spending money to catch up, you're gonna fall behind.
Yes.
Really quick.
Unless you dedicate your whole life into that and catch up and get free.
The grind is real.
The grind is real on that. The grind is real on that.
Yeah. I play that. I play DC Universe Online as well.
Classic game. Love it.
I play a fire tank. You know,
Nice.
I'm probably one of the best tanks to come around because, you know, look at me. I'm a tank in real life. But my mindset is this. You do your job to the best of your ability and, you know, the haters.
Yes.
Yeah, pardon my French.
Yes. Don't worry about it.
But yeah, that's the way it is. If you intend to do a job, do it to the best of your ability.
That's right.
Screw what everybody else says. I mean, if they want to, you know, chastise you about it, then you pretty much correct them and say, look, you start putting money into, you know, you start investing in me so that I can make myself a better tank, better healer, better controller, whatever.
Yes.
If they don't want to help contribute to your growth,
Wow. I guess that fireball is really kicking its course right now. You okay?
I'm
good?
sweating.
Okay, good.
This is like meat sweat. I'm not blaming it on the steak and mac and cheese breakfast that I had.
All right, man. So real quick, so like I said, that's the episode for today, man. I want to thank my man Walt for coming out here. So what is your favorite all-time RPG or JRPG game that your favorite of all time? Let the fans know.
Like I said, I'm a big Final Fantasy nut. I spent 6. I spent some time on Final Fantasy 11 as well.
Yes.
You know, I played it when it first came out, so I played it when it was at the absolute hardest. Pretty much, if you die, you de-level. That's where I was at.
Yeah.
And you know, I love
like
Final
Demon
Fantasy.
Souls. You go back.
Oh God, Demon Souls.
Yeah.
That's a story for another.
But what's
time.
your number one favorite? The
Super Nintendo. The Super Nintendo time.
Yes.
That would be Final Fantasy 6. And Chrono Trigger. They're pretty much tied together. Yeah.
Okay.
Because they push the system to max. Me, I'm a big story and lore nut.
Yeah.
And you know, it's a perfect blend. If you can find it, get it.
So you heard it from the RPG Wizard, Walter from the first floor, man. I want to thank you for coming to the show, man. I want to thank all my supporters, the Dungeon Nation. I want to thank Diddy Von Cube. I want to thank Nika Bond. I want to thank Miss Magic, man. And also I want to thank David from David Chronicles, man. If y'all want to check out a good YouTube channel, go check out my man Dave Chronicles. I'm going to try to have him on the show later on down the line. Hopefully we could get set something up, man. But Walt, thanks for coming to my show, brother, man. I appreciate you giving me this fireball and all that stuff. I want y'all all to go out to that outro of that Cold-Blooded Killer by my man Miss Magic, original music. And I'll catch y'all later, man. That fireball is killing me right now, man. Till next time, man. Peace out.